Hello, welcome back to Moonlit Path Tarot. So today I think we'll just do an energy check-in, see where we're at, what we need to know, and see, I don't know, what's good. All right, Spirit, so for the collective, tell me a little bit about their current energy. What do we need to know? Okay, good news. What about? Oh, okay. All right, so these came out last time. I've already attempted to do this once, and I had to stop, so I'm just decided I was going to scrap it and start over, and I guess these messages are important because they're coming out twice. So and I shuffled these for a good 3 minutes, so there's no way that these were just next to each other. So basically it looks like you have some kind of good news on the way that's going to give you some sort of epiphany or aha moment and clear up some confusion that you might currently be going through. So this talks about like having a lot of options, a lot of choices, but it also talks about confusion and being overwhelmed by your choices. So it looks like some kind of good news that's going to give you some kind of mental clarity about what to decide on is on the way. Tell me a little bit more about the collective's current energy, Spirit, please. Collective's current energy. Okay. Woo! Oh my God. Cheese and rice. Okay. So I'm really not gonna linger on this energy too long because I'm honestly getting tired of these people from the past intruding on these readings. Like, excuse me, I'm still around. Like, a cool story, bro. Nobody asked. But we'll talk about the way, just give me a second. All right, so planning ahead to the future, right? This is looking ahead to the future. It's also union on the horizon. This can talk about somebody from the past, like an ex or just people from the past, but it also talks about nostalgia, yearning for when times were simpler, healing childhood wounds, right? So with this Eight of Swords, it looks like I can see this going two ways. I can see somebody from the past saying, I really, really miss you, while you're not even looking at them, you're looking ahead to the future, right? And this kind of talks about feeling stuck, right? And it's a little bit of getting in your own way. But I'm not 100% sure that this is, well, it might be your energy with this confusion. You might feel like you have your hands tied, like you can't make a decision at the moment, but it looks like you're getting ready to, because you're going to get some sort of mental clarity about how to get yourself unstuck. So I don't really want to focus too much on somebody from the past. I don't care about them. To be quite honest, I don't give a fuck, right? So let's talk about, tell me more about the collective's current energy. Okay, 2 pages. So let's see. So you're in this single abundant energy. I'm not keeping this, but we can talk about this. So bottom of the deck will say 9 of Pentacles, which is earth energy, which is like abundance, it's joy, it's being fruitful, it's harvesting harvesting the seeds you planted, right? And the Page of Pentacles talks about a new opportunity or the beginning stages of something. So you might be in the beginning stages. You might be an apprentice of some kind or a student of some kind. You may be working on something and you're kind of just learning how to, I don't know, become the master instead of the student. But this also just talks about learning something new or gathering some kind of information. So let's see. Tell me a little bit more. What about the collective's current... You know what? Hold on. What information, tell me about the Page of Swords. What's up with the Page of Swords? What do they need to learn about or know about or gain information about? Okay, so that makes a little more sense to me. So 2 of Wands, this is a card of travel, right? This is do I stay where I'm at or do I venture out of my comfort zone and see what else is out there, right? Do I stay? Do I go? Because it's more comfortable to stay where you are and stay in your comfort zone, but it's also a card of travel. So bottom of this deck, 4 of Wands, which is the 1111 card. It's the twin flame card, right? This just talks about marriage, celebration, buying a home, finding your soul tribe of people, right? So you may be gaining some kind of new opportunity and you're just kind of learning or figuring out if you want to stay where you're at or do you want to venture out into the world and see what else is out there. That's just kind of how I'm reading this at the moment. But it looks like underneath this, 4 of Pentacles, so you might be saving your money right now. You just might be currently in the process of saving and not really spending. So let's see. Tell me a little bit about the collective's recent past, please. Oh, okay. Yep, that came out last time too. Okay, so you may have been dealing with a Taurus specifically because this is Taurus's card. But it looks like for your recent past, or it could just be earth energy, right? Because this can be somebody who has money, somebody who's saving money, and somebody who's very generous and likes to share it with other people. But it can also talk about and being a little bit selfish, right? And the way that she's gripping onto this, like, yes, she has it, but she's like holding onto it super tight. So I'm wondering if this thing from the past, somebody backstabbed you, betrayed you, you had to walk away, because this talks about painful endings like that occurred and being backstabbed and being betrayed, but it also talks about challenging times coming to an end. This also came out in the last reading. So I'm wondering if you walked away from an earth sign or walked away from somebody who wasn't giving you commitment or just wasn't aligned with your values, because this talks about tradition, right? Like tradition, like organized religion, like a husband and a wife, marriage, kids, a white picket fence. So maybe that just wasn't what you wanted, or it just wasn't going to work out with this person, or you weren't getting commitment from them, or this is also a teacher of some kind, like a spiritual teacher, but I'm not really seeing anything about teaching. So bottom of this deck, King of Swords, talks about somebody who's very brave, somebody who's very courageous, and somebody who displays a lot of strength. But it's somebody who's also a little bit cold. So you may have had to cut somebody off, because he uses him and the Queen of Swords. They're not very emotional. They use their sword of truth to cut out negativity from their lives. So I'm wondering if you had to cut somebody out of your life, somebody who just maybe was selfish or not giving you commitment or just wasn't on the same page as you. Let's see. Tell me about the collectives. Tell me more about the collective's current energy in the space they're in. Okay, bottom of the deck. So you may feel like, somebody may feel like there's competition, because this is the Soulmate card, right? And then right underneath that is the Twin Flame card. This is also a Twin Flame card. So you're getting 2 Twin Flame cards, and you may be getting ready to meet them. If you walked away from somebody you considered a soulmate and they just weren't it for you, this is the Wounded Warrior card. This is like resilience. It's being able to bounce back, right? So it looks like you're able to bounce back, but this is also like my struggle bus card. I mean, it did come out flipped, so I'm wondering if you're bouncing back from somebody who put you in competition, because this also talks about rivalry, but it's like friendly competition that can turn ugly really quick. So I'm wondering if this is your current energy, if you are just kind of in this, because she's side-eyeing a little bit, right? She's trusting, but she doesn't have a wall completely constructed around her. She does not trust you, and she's looking at you out of the side, right? Like, can I trust you? Maybe I'll let you in. Maybe I'll let you through this, but not if I don't trust you, and not if I feel like you're going to put me in competition with other people. But for your current energy, I just get this like really wounded warrior. That's all I'm seeing. Wounded warrior who's overcoming this like struggle, this like clawing your way up from the bottom, clawing, like pulling. This person is literally like trying to pull somebody else down so they can get up. And I'm not saying you're doing that, but I'm saying that people may have done that to you with this 10 of Swords energy. So right now you're just resilient. You're bouncing back from this like rivalry and competition and always needing to be like on, if that makes sense. So maybe you're getting ready to meet a soulmate. Maybe you're getting ready to meet your divine counterpart or the love of your life. Tell me a little bit more about the collective's current energy, please. Okay. So this is like, wow, even this, right? So you got the 4 of Wands twice. You got the Twin Flame. You got the soulmate. This is somebody you're getting ready to meet somebody. And if this is, you know what? Everything won't be for everyone. So if this isn't for you and doesn't resonate, check back for the next one, because this is how I'm reading this. You left something in the past and you're getting ready to meet your like soul tribe of people. Or person or divine counterpart, because this is like the creative spark of passion. It's like the secrets of the universe, right? It is the beginning stages. It's always a new beginning, aces are. And then Temperance is like the yin to the yang energy. It's patience, harmony, it's balance, it's duality. But like I said, it's also the joining of 2 souls, the yin to the yang, the soulmate, the lovers, the joining of 2 souls, and it being in balance. So you may be getting ready to meet somebody that you could marry or spend the rest of your life with, or possibly somebody that you were just meant to meet or link up with in this life, because they were put on your path for a reason, whoever they were. This is Sagittarius's energy, so this is very much fire energy. So if this is a person, you may have a lot of sexual chemistry with this person, and they might be like the yin to your yang energy. So Spirit, if this is a relationship, tell me about it. Okay. So this might be, if this is a relationship, ooh, I love that. King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This is somebody who's very emotionally balanced, emotionally mature, emotionally vulnerable. Somebody who is very loving and very kind, and not the King of Swords. The King of Swords is like blunt, cold, emotionless, sort of. This guy is very balanced in his emotions, and he basically is comfortable displaying his emotions. So he'll tell you how he really feels, and he has no problem doing that. And when I'm saying he, because it's a literal man on the card, but there's no gender in tarot, it's just energy. So if you're a man, take this as it resonates. It could be about a woman. It doesn't have to be a man, right? But if this is a person that you're getting ready to meet, it looks like right now they're in hermit mode, or they are just kind of always in hermit mode, right? This might not be somebody who likes to go out. This might not be somebody who is like a big partier or is like going out all the time. But it is somebody who is a very hard worker, somebody who's a master at something, somebody who has a skill of some kind, because this talks about honing your skills, honing your craft. It's taking it from the student to the master, taking it from the student to the master. So if this is if this is a person, this is just somebody who kind of keeps to themselves and is a very hard worker, and they put a lot of effort into whatever it is they do. And they're also very emotionally intelligent. So this isn't really somebody that you're going to have to worry about, being explosive or being, holding shit in and just not saying how they really feel. This is somebody who's more than comfortable saying how they really feel. So if this is a relationship, Spirit, let's see. Just tell me a little bit more about the next 6 months. Let's go the next 6 months. Okay, so you got the Ace of Swords twice and the Three of Wands twice. Okay, so Eight of Cups. You walked away from something or someone that was no longer emotionally fulfilling to you. They weren't for your highest good. And you moved on, right? So that takes a lot of strength. That takes a lot of courage with the King of, I believe it was Swords that came out earlier. So the Ace of Swords, again, you had some kind of epiphany or mental clarity about what it is that you want for the future. And it wasn't this person or this thing. So you left it in the past, you walked away from it. And you're walking towards this divine masculine, leaving this Ten of Swords in the past. I love this for you. Tell me a little bit more about the next 6 months for the collective. Strength and, okay, so this comes out so much, right? Especially the last couple days. So I have a channel notebook, and one of the channels specifically was Seven of Wands. And it looks like in the next 6 months, you can expect you're strong. You display a lot of strength, right? And you also have firm boundaries. This is somebody who's very centered and balanced and doesn't let the outside negativity or influences or opinions affect their inner peace or how they view themselves. So in the next 6 months, it looks like you're like, this is my immovable mountain card. I always give the example of Mulan when he says, no matter how the wind howls, the mountain cannot bow to it. That's how this feels to me. So it looks like it doesn't matter what's going on outside of you, externally, you're peaceful, you're grounded, you're centered internally, which is great. That's so great. So tell me more. I want to know a little bit more about what they can expect in the next 6 months. King of Wands, you can expect confidence or some kind of success in business, right? So if this is not a relationship and this is business, it looks like whatever it is, you're honest, you have integrity, it's not like super emotional, right? So this is somebody who's confident. This is somebody who gets shit done, who's a leader. So in the next 6 months, you can expect to be some kind of leader who's very honest and has a lot of integrity. And this is somebody who, like I said, won't go back and forth with you. This is somebody who, which I'm reading as your energy, will use that sword of truth to cut anybody out of their life that isn't meant to be there or isn't for their highest good, isn't fulfilling to them emotionally, right? So with this and this together, just kind of what you can expect to be the leader. You can expect to either have some kind of success in business with this Ace of Wands or to meet somebody new. This is a divine feminine and a divine masculine. Typically, I don't like him for like love, but the way that I'm just kind of seeing this right now is fire and air. So if you think about people who are compatible, fire and air are compatible because fire needs air to be fire. You need oxygen to be fire, right? So they could be a fire sign. You might be meeting a fire sign, or like I said, you just might be being the leader of your own life and getting some kind of success when it comes to business. Let's see, if this is business or a person, tell me if this is business. Is this business or a person? Okay, so that's not really helpful, but it doesn't matter because it just looks like whatever it is, this kind of just tells me they didn't give me it could be business, but it could also be like a relationship, right? Because coins are pentacles, which are money, but it's also, this also means abandonment and feeling left out in the cold, right? So not necessarily this like 10 of Swords backstabbing betrayal, but this specifically tells me that your days of being abandoned, your days of being left out in the cold, your days of feeling on the outside is coming to an end. You are closing out cycles. This is my spiritual graduation card. So the Wheel of Fortune to me is like leveling up karmically. And this is closing out cycles because you've learned the damn lesson. You've done the damn thing, right? This is graduating spiritually. This is a happy ending. So you are going to get some kind of happy ending, whether that be a person, a business, a new home, whatever it is, right? It could be all of them because we've gotten coins, we've gotten pentacles, we've gotten fire, we've gotten the Four of Wands, which could be a home, but it could also be a marriage proposal, right? So take what resonates. I'm not going to get too specific on if this is a business or a person or a job. You know your situation. You know how it applies. So bottom of this deck, this is, oh wow, actually I love this. So bottom of this deck, this is the Knight of Wands and the King of Knight of Wands and the King of Pentacles. So Knight of Wands is taking inspired action towards something. It's somebody who's creative, but it's also taking inspired action towards like goals or things that you want, right? And this talks about somebody who's very generous, loving, warm, kind, wealthy. You might be meeting somebody who has money, or you just might be taking action to invest in yourself. Like I said, this could be about a business. So if you are taking inspired action towards your goals and dreams, expect that to pay off immensely. Expect this to bring you like massive amounts of abundance. I really like this for you. Actually, I think this is a good place to leave this. So what we'll do is I will pull some numbers and some letters, and if you get one or both or whatever, that's great. If you don't get any, that's okay. This is just extra confirmation. So if this resonates with you, then it's still your reading. So tell me how this applies to you, because I do love to read it in the comments. So if you like and subscribe, that does help the engagement of my channel, but it also helps me connect to you spiritually. So it kind of helps the readings be more accurate so I can attune to you more. So let's see, for the numbers we have 3, 5, 6, 16, and 30. You might be 33, 35, 36, 63, 65, what did I say? Yeah, 63, 65, or 53, 56, or the date, the 3rd, the 5th, the 6th, the 16th, or the 30th. I'm not sure if I said you might be in your 30s. But 3 could be March, so you could be Pisces and Aries. You could be a Taurus, a Gemini for May. You could be a Gemini and a Cancer for June. Yeah, so that's what the numbers are. 3, 5, 6, 16, and 30. All right, now we will go ahead and I will pull some initials. So what we have for the initials are, oh, geez. A, W, K, G, another G, oops, V, I, R, J, another I, Z, M, B, T, another, yeah, I was going to say there has to be 2. Another K, Y, C, L, another W, do a couple more, U, H, S, another L, V, oh, no, another V. Let's see if we can get 2 more. And if not, that's all right. Another S, and let's see, 1 more. E. All right, so we have A, 2 I's, B, T, U, H, R, 2 W's, K, J, Y, 2 S's, N, C, Z, 2 G's, 2 V's, M, 2 L's, and E. All right, collective, that is where I will leave this reading for you. Feel free to check back for the next one. And as always, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul.